Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the step 0 of getting started with HoloLens, which is to make sure that I have all the tools installed, install the SDK as well as the emulator, the Unity technical preview, hopefully create a new project for inside of Unity, and then run it in the emulator, since I obviously don't yet have the HoloLens on hand. So as mentioned in the intro, I'll probably skip around a little bit. If I get stuck on something, I'll definitely cut those parts out, and then once I come back, I'll kind of regroup, readdress what it is that I removed. So hopefully we can learn together without wasting too much time. So the first thing we want to do is head over to dev.windows.com, and I'm going to go to the documentation for holographic. And obviously we've got a nice little landing page here. You can learn more about it, but what I am interested in is the SDK, which will take me to a page to install the tools. And here, we're linked directly to everything that you need to get started, such as Visual Studio Update 2. You definitely want to make sure you have that installed. I already have done that, so I'm going to go ahead and proceed to get to the emulator. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. Looks like it's about a megabyte, so let's go ahead and let it run in the background. And while this is installing, I'm going to go ahead and go into the default path. And I am fine with that and that. I want the emulator and the app templates. Go ahead and approve that. And while that's going in the background, let's go ahead and go into the HoloLens Technical Preview Beta 10. We're going to start downloading that as well. There's also the system requirements. Make sure, obviously, that your machine meets these. So let's go ahead and go to Unity. And what I want to do is download the HoloLens Technical Preview, which, as you can see here, is a custom version of Unity based on Unity 5.4 beta. So I'll go ahead and select that. I do actually already have Unity installed on this machine somewhere. It's right here. And so what I want to do is 64-bit win, and I'm going to find out if this will run alongside. And actually what I think I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and just save this to the desktop. I think I'll put it in a beta folder. I'm pretty sure you can install these side by side, if what I have been told is correct. HoloLens is still going. It says, look, now next I need to make sure I have the UWP runtime. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'll put that on the desktop as well. And then it looks like we have some offline documentation, and I say, why not? All right, so it looks like all of these are going. There's some release notes that we can take a look at here. Lots of interesting stuff that is way over my head here, since I know so little about Unity. But that's okay, we'll find out together. I'm going to go ahead and pause and or cut while these downloads finish. So be back shortly. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So it looks like the emulator has completed with a nice welcome message. I'll go ahead and close that. And the next thing I need to do is wait for the Unity to finish setting up. While that runs, I'm going to go ahead and put in the documentation. Why not? Just to give us something to do. Uh-oh, looks like I can't do that because I don't have any editor installations found. I'm guessing this is likely because I have not completed setting up the Unity, but I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that. I'll try again after I go ahead and let this finish, and I will resume this video when the installer is ready to run. Actually, in the meantime, I did find this documentation, which is linked from the Unity page here. Right here, Microsoft HoloLens documentation, which is certainly also linked from the holographic documentation here in the developer Microsoft section, as well as an excellent series of videos that walk you through a Hello World sample far better than I could. But again, my goal is not necessarily to teach you anything, but rather so you can watch me stumble around and fail so you can know what not to do. And hopefully also learn a couple of things along the way. That being said, there's a lot of excellent information here. It seems to be related to those videos, as well as a whole bunch of different stuff. I've read through a lot of this. But my goal is really not to really rely on this. I really kind of just want to poke around. So we'll see what happens when this is done. And we'll be back in the video in approximately 42 seconds. Stand by. Thanks. Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Going to go ahead and launch the Unity setup. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and install this. It looks like it does already take care of that, so great. Not going to impact my existing Unity installation, so let's go ahead and proceed. Depending on how long this takes, we'll probably cut this, but let's see. All right, so we went ahead and skipped that, and now we are ready to run HoloLens. But before we do that, since the requirement is that we install the runtime, let's go ahead and do that first. All right, great. And just for good measure, let's go ahead and see if this thing runs, which is the documentation. Looks like that's good to go. We'll go ahead and let that finish. Great. So we are fully installed and ready to launch. So I'll go ahead and unblock it from the firewall. That should be fine. Great, so I've got an existing Unity project and I don't want that. I want to create a new one. But actually, before I do any of this, the first thing I want to do is I just want to see this HoloLens emulator in action. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, minimize this, and I'm going to go to Visual Studio. And I am just going to give this a try. I have no idea what's going to happen or if it's going to work. So I'm going to just hit New. I'm going to hit Project. And as it fires up the new templates, I am going to hopefully find the one for Windows Universal Holographic. And here it is. I'm not going to call this Hello World because I'm not even there yet. I'm just going to call it Launch and hit OK. I believe it is going to give me the defaults that I want, and target version 10.586 makes sense with the minimum version of the initial launch, so I'll go ahead and hit OK. And it looks like we have got a fleshed out project loaded up. And this is all DirectX stuff, which is even further over my head. But I just want to see this thing work. So I'm going to select from the drop down, I want the HoloLens emulator. And I'm going to assume that it should remain in x86 as a result. And here we go. Cross your fingers. NuGet restores. Project building. Looks like project launching, which is good news. Good sign. Oh, there we go. Got a nice, huge emulator launching. And I think I will probably leave this in just to kind of give an idea of what the launch experience is like. I'm guessing just like it was with phone. First time it's going to be a little slow. You leave it running and then you deploy your updates and yeah, we'll see what happens. Got loading. And I have no idea what to expect as I've specifically avoided looking at any documents on this because I wanted it to be a surprise. So hopefully you'll be as delighted and surprised as I will undoubtedly be. Oh, looks like we got something coming up. Trying to map your surroundings. And look at that. Woo! All right. So step one is good. Got the thing up and running. And I'm afraid to touch anything as I'm not sure what the app launch is supposed to do. So it looks like it's still doing some deploying. And I'm going to just not touch it until it stops doing its thing. Oh, wow. Look at that. I have a 3D cube spinning, which is obviously what the default app does. But it works. This is truly exciting. I'm clicking and dragging my mouse to, which appears to be moving the field of view. Totally awesome. So I'm going to just explore some of these options here. Human input obviously is going to use the point and click to manipulate the input, whereas a keyboard and mouse will actually respond as if a device, keyboard and mouse was attached through Bluetooth. I won't be doing that much, I don't think, so I'm going to focus on just the human input. Looks like left or right clicks do the same thing. Fit to screen, zoom, help. There's a device portal, which looks like it is a... Let me bring this up into Internet Explorer. Looks like it connects to the device and shows you some really cool diagnostic information. This is really neat. I didn't even know about this thing. 3D view. Oh, wow. It's actually showing me a visual representation of, I'm guessing, the world that I'm in. Wow. So by default, I believe the HoloLens does load a default room, and I'll kind of explore that a little more as I play with this a little more. I'm also going to kind of turn away and see if this updates anything. No, it doesn't look like much happened here. But yeah, the default room is going to map. This looks like something straight out of a horror movie. I feel like the lady's going to come through the television and eat all of our faces here in a moment. So that's kind of creepy, but cool. I guess this is how the HoloLens sees the world. And yeah, this is really, really cool. Looks like I can even capture video as well as take a photo. And there it is, of what I'm looking at. This is really, really cool. I had no idea this was here. I'm going to have to really dig in and see what these things do, what these things mean. Looks like there's a performance monitor, which is totally wicked awesome. The apps that are inside of the system, I'm going to assume, are the ones that are deployed. So here's Katana. Launch, there's me, my app that I installed, the HoloShell. Looks like you can even deploy apps to this outside of Visual Studio, which is really cool. There's calibration. Oh, these are the apps that are installed. Okay, very cool. Crash dumps, which I'm sure will be helpful. If something goes wrong. Kiosk mode, I know they talked about this. At build, the bloom gesture is disabled. Pinned apps are not showed in the world, so that's cool. If you want to just kind of lock down your HoloLens, logging, simulation, capture the room. This is neat. Sends streams to record hand, spatial moving environment. Wow. Okay, so again, I don't know too much about this, just kind of like poking around. And then virtual input. Select this control to send keyboard input to the device. Kind of neat. This is really cool. So we have a success. I am able to see my guy here. I'm going to expand the tools menu, which is the last thing I wanted to look at in this emulator. Looks like it takes a second to load like it does for the phone, so I'm just going to let that do its thing and sit tight. There it goes. Simulation. Wow, look at that yaw control. Turn on the left hand, and I don't know how I would manipulate this yet. Looks like this is editing the head. I don't know quite how to turn the hands yet, so let's go ahead and turn that off, and we'll come back to that. The room this is what's really cool. There's other rooms that you can load. Bedroom, the great room, and a living room. I think the default is, well, obviously it's the one labeled default room. So let's see what happens if I load the living room. And obviously I don't see it, but I'm going to go back to that simulator thing. Network information, diagnostic information. All right, not too much in here, but that's all right. Go back to the 3D view, and I want to update the room, and sure enough, it's definitely another creepy room with a different layout. So there's lots of little things, lots of different things for your holograms to interact with, which I think this is really one of the neater features, is that it doesn't just dump you in an empty world, but rather gives you, something to start with. For someone like me who doesn't quite have their hands on a device yet, this is definitely appreciated and exciting to see. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the debugger, and I am going to, what I wanted to do was hop over to Unity and basically do the same thing. But given that there isn't a sample project that I know of in the Unity that I can launch, that I don't have to build myself, essentially a Hello World project, I think I'm going to make that the second video. So second video number 2 will be actually diving into Unity, throwing some stuff on the screen, and then launching it into the emulator from Visual Studio. And we'll see what kind of success we have. Until then, we had a pretty good first run. Emulator launched, deployed the default app, poked around the world, and the app's gone. I don't know how you launch the, I middle click there. Gave me like a sneak peek of the room, which is kind of cool. I don't yet know how to launch the bloom gesture from in here. But I will figure that out by the next video. And until then, again, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions about what you saw or want to see something that you didn't see, definitely reach out to me. I'm on Twitter at celeron.net. And you can also find me and my team at falafel.com for all your consulting needs, including, coming very soon, the HoloLens. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the next one. Hope this was helpful.